Hello and welcome, David Baker. Welcome to the Wisdom for Life podcast. In this podcast, we love to give you wisdom. Wisdom is knowing what to do and having the power to do it in every situation. This morning, I want to encourage you and help you with something on the seasons of life. The seasons of life. So many times when we're going through hard times, tough times, trials, burdens, heartaches, we think it's never going to end. We think it's never going to be over. And if we could just understand that God says there are different seasons that we'll go through, and these seasons will come to pass, if we can understand that, how much better that can be. There was an old story told of a wise king that had 4 sons and wanted to teach them a lesson. So he sent each of his sons out in the deep woods to look at one cherry tree. He sent one in the winter, one in the spring, one in the summer, and one in the fall, and told them to write down the description of that tree. The one he sent in the winter said, "It's dead. It's worthless. We ought to cut it down." The one in the spring said, "Oh, wow, it had all these blooms and butterflies and bees were all around it." The other one said in the summer, "No, it had fruit on it and birds and others were feeding from it. The cherries were amazing." And the other one in the fall said, "No, it's not. It's no fruit and no blooms. It has beautiful leaves. It looks like it's good for a painting or something." And so to look and understand our life is the same thing. There are times where you might want to end life, where you think, "I'm not being here. This is dead. It's waste. It's over." You don't understand. Spring is around the corner. There's another season that God has planned for you. God has put you in a season right now of testing, or a season of trial, or a season of suffering, or a season of heaviness, the Bible calls it. Sometimes people will have that. And so here in 1 Peter 1:6, "Wherein ye greatly rejoice, though now for a season, if need be, ye are in heaviness through manifold temptation." There's a season of heaviness that can come in our life, but to understand that's not where we're going to stay. That's not where God has us for life. And please understand, these seasons, every season is to prep for the next season. So winter season, what do? Winter season is time where you fix the equipment, where you sharpen the saws, where you make sure the hoe and the plow and all the equipment is going to be working right. Sharpening, preparing for that season of planting. Because if you don't do that, you go to plant like, "Oh man, all the equipment's broken. Nothing's working. You're not ready to plant." And because of the planting, now that prepares you for the summer, where it's going to grow and produce the fruit. That's going to prepare you for the harvest, where you're going to bring in the harvest. And that's going to prepare you for the winter time to be able to get things ready to plant again. It's a season. Each season prepares us for the next. When you look at David had a season of preparation. The lion, the bear, watching those few sheep in the wilderness, prepared him for, the Goliath. But then God had him in the mountaintop, which prepared him to go through the valley when the king's trying to kill him. So the preparation, it's amazing how God would do that and prepare him for that next season. And then later on, that prepared him for the next season. So the same for Joseph. Here, Joseph, he is the favorite child. He's the one beloved of his mother and father. But yet, he goes through a season where his brothers hate him and sell him to slavery. The season of love prepared him for the season to go through of suffering. And now he's top. He's running Potiphar's home. He's doing great. That prepares him for the season he went through with the temptation and then going to prison. And that prepared him to now go and run the whole country. It's hard to be proud when you know where you came from, when you know you were a slave, or you know you were in prison. So please understand, every season that God has you in is preparing you for the next season. I love it. God said, "In due season, we will reap if we faint not." In due season, different times the Bible talks about a due season. He's going to bring rain in his season, meat in due season. It mentions both of those. But God said we'll reap in due season if we faint not. How many people quit? How many people give up on life or their business or their marriage or their kids or their family? They give up on them because they don't realize, wait, it's just a season. I'm so glad my mom and dad did not give up on me in my season of rebellion. They didn't give up on me. They spent a season of prayer and turned that around, and I've got to be my parents' pastor now for 28 years. It's a season, okay? This too shall pass. You're going to go through this. So let me give you a few thoughts to put together for this season. So one is sometimes you'll have a day out of whack with a season. You ever think it's spring and then a snowstorm comes, okay? Well, up north, that would happen a lot. Sometimes you're going to have those bad times during a different season. That's okay. Seasons don't always come in order. It's not always spring, summer, fall, winter. Sometimes you get the bad one first before the good one comes. And sometimes you have that. Job started off, wow, blessed, amazing, incredible, reaping, and then the season of suffering. Wait, how do you go from this summertime, beautiful, wonderful, amazing, right into suffering? Sometimes seasons don't always go. So the season, your season is coming if you don't quit. We said you'll reap in due season if you faint not, but I love Psalm 1. Psalm 1, verse 3, and ye shall be like a tree, and he shall be like a tree planted by the rivers of waters that bringeth forth his fruit in his season. Please understand, now you're in training. Now you're in prep mode. Now you're in suffering mode. Now you're in burden or heartache mode, which is preparing you for bringing your fruit in your season to have that. Does God ever allow us to go through those tough times before the big times? Absolutely. So the season time is prepping for another one. Understand that. Make sure no matter what that you do right in every season. That you do right in every season. 2 Timothy 4:2, preach the word, be instant in season, out of season. Okay? Be instant in season and out of season. Make sure no matter what season it is, you're doing right. Winning souls and helping people in every season. When you go through a burden and a hard time, don't quit doing the things that you know are good and right to do. Win souls, help people in every season. Boy, we've gone through some seasons of on the bottom, dragging. But I kept with my schedule, and I went to the jail and preached, went to the nursing home and preached. I went soul winning. How come? Didn't want to, didn't feel like it, but I did because my schedule said that's what I'm supposed to do. Do right in season and out of season. And it's out of season right now, but we're still going to do right. And like I already said, realize that season will pass. That season will pass. If you're in that season now, realize it will pass. God has another season planned. Just do right. Stay close to God. Let God help you. Don't be an island all by yourself. Don't think that it's never going to change. During wintertime, during the cold, especially the more north you get, Alaska, where it's dark, a lot more suicides. How come? Because you think it's never going to end. No, the sun is going to come up. For some, it's not tomorrow. For some, it may be a week or two or a month. But the sun will come up again if you don't quit, if you keep going. Hey, what season are you in right now? Burden, heartache, tough, trial? No problem. God says you'll make it. Okay, this too shall pass. This season is going to pass. This season isn't going to last forever. You keep being faithful. You keep doing what's right, and wait to see what God does when God turns the season around and you become like Job and God blesses and doubles everything that you have. Boy, how many times do you think Job thanked God that he didn't quit? They didn't give in. That he didn't do what his wife said, curse God and die. Okay, Mother, it's amazing. When we're supposed to listen to our wives, when they're giving good counsel and advice, we don't listen. We're too proud. And when they're giving us crazy bad advice, like Job, so many times they do. His wife said, why don't you curse God and die? I'm glad he didn't listen to her that time. He kept on going, and look what happened. God doubled everything that he had. What a blessing that is. Hey, what season are you going through? Realize spring's coming. Summer's coming, fall's coming. You can get out of this dark, hard, rough season because God has another one planned for you. Hey, God bless you and have a great week.